Alright, back again. Last time you seen me, I had just finished welding in that rocker panel. Quite a few steps were taken in between. Didn't have really time to do. I put the door in. I actually rebushed these pins. Put new pins in the hinges here, and I put new bushings, so they had a little bit of play, so I had to fix that up. But this is the door that I skinned earlier. I did that earlier in the year, and fits pretty well. The rocker panel, as you see, is all in, all tacked into place. I actually, remember the chicken shit job? Well, that's pretty much as best as I can get it. It's nice and tight now. I can actually, I'm gonna put some metal to metal filler in that and clean that up so it doesn't look so cruddy. This whole door is actually all taken down and stripped and etched. You can see all the tack wells from the skinning job that I did. There's actually some metal to metal in here that I have to sand out and clean. But I have to take some seam sealer afterwards and just seam seal all this afterwards, so you don't really see any of this. I got the door to fit. I mean, it's banging now. I'm going to try to work on fitting the rear quarter. There's a little bit of a discrepancy here because I don't know, maybe it was the prior work, but apparently, I mean, this is not set. I just pinned it in place, but this line here has to be addressed. And if you look closely, see this gap here? It doesn't quite fit. So what I have to do is I have to cut at the line to get this to flow down nice, and I have to fill this with steel, so I have to weld a bead on and grind it round. I mean, you just can't cut an edge and leave it floating in the wind like that. You have to put some sort of support. This is what I was talking about earlier too, about the two panels butting up against one another and having a mating surface. It's right here. See, on my other Camaro, I just took it and I filled this in with I welded it. I stitched it across and made it one solid panel, so when it comes down, it drops off. It's smooth. There's a smooth transition. This still needs a little bit of dolly work here, and I gotta, it's not set, so it's just placed in again. And I mean, when I get the door closed, you can see the gap at the bottom of the door with the rock. It looks pretty consistent. I mean, there's a little bit of a wave here at the tip, but that's due to the door skin wasn't quite square. So my cousin of mine, he bust my balls about this. He says, "You should have put it on the car while you had everything together instead of just fitting the door." What I did is I skinned the door off the car, and I mean, that could be problematic. But hopefully I lucked out on this one, and I don't have to come back and cut all the tack wells and try to realign this panel. Hopefully it'll work out all right. Next process now is this rear quarter, trying to get the skin on and get it right. I mean, now I have a door to contend with. I mean, it's banging now, but it's because nothing's set and it's not pulled back towards the end here. So, like the argument with me here is, if I set this door and the skin is right, I have this point here, which is a factory stationary point, so I can use that as a reference. I don't know yet if I'm going to scribe this line here and cut this out and try to let this panel in, but we'll see. I mean, other than that, I mean, big part of it was this rocker panel. That's done. It came out actually real good. I'm real proud of myself, and slowly we get this thing done. So hopefully we'll be next time you see me, maybe I'll start to get this thing together and weld it up and work my way around. As soon as that is done, this car has to come out of the garage, and I got to turn it around and start working on the other side and bring everything to the back. So essentially, you'll see me do this lower drop-off panel section here. I'll show you when I go around the back of the car, but the other side is completely rotted out, and I have to replace it like I did this one. So you didn't get to see me do this side, but you will get to see me do the other side. And same thing with this panel here. This was a huge hole over here. There was no steel. I actually fabbed in a new piece of steel. I got some pictures of it, and I'm going to do that on the other side. and you'll see me do that. The fender, it's a work in progress. I hit a little bit every day, keep taking it down and get all the surface rust and try to reshape it again. But that's something that's really, it's not something that's super imperative. It will eventually have to be done. But what I'm trying to do is get this car complete. You know, I want to get the body structure complete because I do want to split the subframe off and put this car on a set of dollies so I can wheel it around. And we might have an issue here. The prior work that's done, if you can see, the gap is real tight, and you go up the panel, it gets a little wide. There's not too much here to play with. I don't have that much room here. And then you shift across this side of the quarter. See, you can see it's more prevalent. It's a bigger gap. Matter of fact, this trunk lid has to turn this way, and by doing that, I'll end up pinching that corner right here, and I don't know how that's going to work. But the panel I was talking about, the drop-off panel, is right here. Here's the piece that when I bought the car, the guy, I guess he was going to do this work. He was going to put all this new steel in on the bottom edge, but I guess he never got around to it, so I'm going to get around to it. So essentially I have to take this all apart, and I have to drill out all the spot welds and split it the way I did the other one and just put it back together piece by piece. But it's sound. There's no rot. It's nice and solid. All the panels it's good steel. See it? It's nice. There's nothing to really worry about on this one. And I will probably do another rocker panel complete. But first I got to do this. Well, actually first I have to do this rear quarter. So I got to finish the passenger side of the car so I can get it spun around. I mean, all the around the windshield edges here, the gutter line, all has to be there's holes in it, and that has to be addressed too. So I got a little bit of work, and it's gonna get done. So next time I see you, hopefully this thing will be if not welded in, it'll be pretty close, and I'll have, there's some things I have to do inside, and seam sealing and welding in some bracing and whatnot. Alright, see you on the next one. Peace.